All right.
All right.
What's up, Shake?
Hey. Anyway, Chango, I'm really excited for this panel. I think people have been looking forward to this one. And I'll let you guys go ahead. Thank you all. Thank you. Chango, you good?
Hi, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. What's up, Shakers and Cosmonauts? Y'all are listening to the Stargaze panel with Shane, the founder of Stargaze, and Angry Mouse, right? Nick, are you building the handshake? Or sorry, the Stargaze naming system?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so lots to talk about, especially with regards to collisions. And as Shane knows, we have some potential collisions in Cosmos already, and if we can't figure that out in Cosmos, then there's no hope for the rest of the naming system ecosystem. Yeah. So all right, I'll let you share your background and what Stargaze name system does, Shane.
Sure, yeah. So Stargaze names kind of came about because of kind of a request and demand from our creators and, well, actually the users, right? So the users wanted to know that the creators are actually who they say they are. We had some issues where some creators tried to pretend that they're a popular creator and launch a collection, kind of like as if it was them, right? So and a lot of people kind of want to know they want to know like the socials of the creators. They want to be able to kind of follow them and kind of see their story and see their prior work. They want to know that they're not going to get rugged, and that like a collection is going to continue building and kind of doing other stuff and like adding value. So when before Stargaze actually launched, it was more of like this kind of decentralized Twitter type of thing, and we actually kind of built a name service then that was based off of Twitter. So you needed a Twitter handle to kind of log in and create an account. And when we built this, we got a lot of feedback from the users saying that they didn't like it. It didn't respect their privacy. That there was no way to kind of get get a name without going through Twitter. So we use that feedback, and Stargaze Names is actually kind of like you can think of it as like a V2, right? And the way Stargaze works is like a traditional startup. We just talk to users all the time. We get their feedback, and we kind of build based on their feedback. So that kind of informed the design of Stargaze Names, where it's no longer dependent on Twitter. You can just go mint a name, any name that you want. And it's so now it's like deeply integrated everyone Stargaze. Like if you use the marketplace and browse around, you can I think something like 75% of all marketplace transactions now include a name. So if you're browsing a collection, you can see who used to own it in the past. You can look at the provenance, and it kind of gives like this really kind of like social feel to it. And yeah, and that's kind of where we are with Stargaze Names right now. You can go and just mint them, and soon we're going to have kind of renewal support, IBC support, and other stuff.
That's exciting. So you touched on one application of naming, which is to verify that you are who you say you are, and I could prove that I own this wallet with my name, or disprove that another wallet with my name is not actually belonging to me. So right now it's interesting. It's sort of a toy application, because zoom out for a little bit for the next 10-year timeline. Where are we going to be with this? It's not just that we're going to have names for people to follow to watch other people's NFT galleries. There's so much more that you could do with it. Imagine if you could have a reputation based system based on people's digital on-chain identities, and then you could have something like a decentralized crowdsourced Yelp for, I don't know, rating the scam crypto projects, or the from the good ones, right? So you could there's a lot of opportunities for self-regulation in the space if we have a reputation-based system, and the primitive would start from on-chain names. And you guys have just Stargaze names have integrated Handshake for the top level domain, the .stars. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. We're in the very early stages. Like, yeah, exactly. This is a primitive. This is like, I wouldn't even say it's a V1. It's like it's kind of like a precursor to the first version. And there's just so much you can do with this. Like once you have it, right? For example, we want to build stuff that's like more like Lens protocol, where you can have like you can have a profile NFT. You can associate it with lots of other things. For example, you can have like your followers, and like right now you can associate it with an image for your avatar, but you can also have like a banner, and you can add text records to it, right? So the Handshake integration works because the name servers are added as text records. You can use that to also maybe add an ENS name and link it to a website and some other stuff. And we're also working on oracles to verify your socials on it. So right now there's a Twitter oracle, right? So you can sign a message and that'll send out a tweet, and then the oracle will listen to the tweets, and it'll post a transaction to the chain that links kind of the two accounts. So yeah, we're in the very early stages of it.
Right. And imagine if you could have a sort of web of trust with accounts that you have personally verified yourself or used an oracle to verify with, and then said that, okay, with these accounts, then they're automatically part of the whitelist that I could send emails to, or that I could message directly without them having to, I don't know, put up some stake for, if a messaging app were to use some spam prevention mechanism, like penalizing you for issuing spam, like all the spam that we get in our Twitter DMs, right? All the spam that you get on crypto Twitter that says, oh, free airdrop and all of that, all of that stuff could be reasonably solved with the solution.
Yeah, you could probably just filter notifications from Twitter by score of this name. Like if this name has like big score, if it's trusted name, if people like, well, not name, but user behind this name, then you show notification from it and you show it in your tab. And if it's just like some spam, then it will be very easy to filter it out if we ever build it.
Right. And imagine imagine if there were some kind of weighting system. So Zach XBT, for example, has a lot of weight, and if he calls one project a scam project or a slow rug, then that could contribute to a Yelp rating of 0, and it weighs heavily on them, and then that project would need thousands of other five-star ratings from verified accounts just to get to like 1 star or something. There's all sorts of different possibilities with on-chain names and decentralized ID. So are there other interesting things that Stargaze is building on its roadmap towards this future of what Web3 really means, right? Which is a step function improvement over what Web2 platforms provide, but with self-sovereign primitives.
A lot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're still in the very early stages of that, but maybe Nick can talk a little bit about dot stars and why it's important to use Handshake. And you too, Chango, since you've been a proponent of Handshake for a long time, I would love to know your kind of how you got into it and kind of your kind of background with Handshake.
Yeah. So do you want to go first, Nick, or do you?
No, I can go second. It's fine.
Yeah, the way I got into Handshake is I was close to the core team at the very inception. And that was at the time that Josephine, JJ, and Andrew were coming up with the idea on the whiteboard. And I thought that this is going to be this is a groundbreaking piece of innovation and piece of infrastructure for where we're trying to get with respect to the decentralized web. And early people in the team started working on it in like 2018, including a lot of the now Optimism folks. So, and with respect to Cosmos, I thought that, well, why wouldn't we leverage the existing work that's been done, like the hard work that's been done with integrating DNS to something like this, and just stand on the shoulders of giants without having to reinvent the wheel. And so, yeah, in terms of fundamentals and the most high quality project out there, this was clearly the answer, like the most decentralized project as well. So, and good news for you, for Stargaze, is that I think Taylor from Tetra, he gifted the beaker emoji handshake TLD to Josh Dojmos, who builds ICNS. And so I think he's been handshake pilled now, meaning that I'm not too worried about an in Cosmos collision. If Stargaze is using .stars and Osmosis is using the ICNS interchain name service is using the beaker emoji, then there wouldn't be any collisions at all.
Oh, that's super cool. That's awesome to use emoji as the TLD. I love it.
Yeah, right, and that's why I think the creative space with integrating Handshake is so large, such that you don't really need to worry too much about collisions unless you're unstoppable domains and you're a globalist apparatus, or you're trying to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the collisions though, now that you mention it, the collisions though happen when you want one single name to represent you across the entire cosmos, right? So if you want to be like just Chango, right, with no extension or anything, we want to be just Chango across like all of Cosmos. That's going to be really tough if we already live in a world where there's multiple name services, and within Cosmos itself, right? So the problem comes where you have if you mint Chango on Stargaze and on ICNS and another name service that will pop up on like Neutron or whatever, right? Right. So that's when the problem happens, and also because of Bec32, right? Any name service can support any other chain as well, right? So especially the chains that use the 118 like T type, right? So that's more like that's more kind of the issue if you're representing like a name as just like a single string.
Right. Are you referring to possible replay attacks with the same address or with the same address type?
What I'm worried about is like someone can buy someone can buy like someone who's not you can buy Chango on
Right.
on like another chain.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and that's already happened, by the way. So someone else
Okay.
owns Chango.eth,
Okay.
which is why there needs to be another layer of abstraction on top of it, where people get to verify their actual profiles. Right. It's the same problem as in the Web 2 space, that people are going to have phishing accounts and try to impersonate you. But then that's why I think the next Lego that needs to be built would be a reputation system or a profile verification system where the user themselves can verify whether or not they own that particular name.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
good point. Because right now we kind of like avoid it, of course, not fully, but we avoid it by allowing possibility to connect your socials to your name and view it through, for example, .stars.page.
Mhm.
But later, I think we will at some point build some kind of reputation system and social network for fellow stargazers and cosmonauts.
Yeah, that's the most obvious next product to make. There's a project you should know about, Shane. It's called Next ID, and um they're creating social graphs basically. So if you input any of your handles, like Shane.Vitorana to Next ID, they'll index your Web 2 identity and show you what platform it's on, like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, Reddit. And then if you input your Web 3 ID via Lens or ENS and future integrations into Stargaze or HNS and ICNS, they'll be able to index it too, and then show which accounts you're connected to as part of your friend group. And then therein lies the potential to create portable social graphs and move it to whatever front end that you want to manage your socials on, right? I think that's also the perfect next step.
Yeah, that's interesting because for wallets, like that's the thing I'm a bit worried about. Like, if you're in a wallet and you want to send tokens to somebody and you type in, their name, not their actual name, but their username on a name service, that's kind of where like the collision would happen, right?
Oh yeah,
So
but it's
yeah, so like
absolutely on the sender to verify that they're sending it to to the intended person, right?
yeah,
Like you would
so
never.
yeah, but if they assume Chango.eth is you and they send it to that, then the wrong Chango is going to get it, right? So
Mhm.
so the system I'm kind of proposing is this thing called fully qualified names, which is where there's like three components to a name. It has the name and then the @ sign, the chain, and then dot name service. So it looks like an email. It looks exactly like an email, but
Oh,
it's
that's
your
cool.
it's your username, add the chain and the name service, and then that will be a way to kind of resolve everything. Um, and it's also backwards compatible because the chain part can be optional, right? So because ENS already exists, right? Chango.eth, and then dot, I think Aptos already has one too. So um, I think we'll have like no choice but to go in a direction like that to like disambiguate these names.
Yeah, it could be an on-chain solution where you try to tackle it from every angle, or it could be an abstraction, a platform that manages all of this for you, a la like Yelp or something, like a
Mhm.
new version of Yelp, which I could buy into. It might be very high scope to try to solve this all at once, just because what happens when you also have to reason about roll-ups that use different DA, like that's coming, right?
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a roll-up chain that has a name service. Actually, in fact, I did an interview with them already. So they're using Celestia for the data availability DA layer. And then what happens if they also implement a new roll up multi chain on top of eigenlayer? It's like that rabbit hole just.
Right. And
And at what
if it's
point?
a and if it's an
Yeah.
L2, right? If it's an ETH L2 and like, if it's running a fork of ENS or something,
Uh huh.
like the accounts are exactly the same, the addresses are exactly the same, right? And it's really hard to resolve. So I
Hmm.
really think there's no way around this without some kind of email like
Hmm.
name. Like it's gonna have to have more components in it. I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really
Okay,
don't think
guys.
there's any other way.
I think 10 minutes only left, and it would be good to check some Q&As because there is already too much. I think we'll not reply to every
Okay.
question
Okay.
if there is
So
way
we
too
got
much.
DWeb ASAP asking, can I sell my HNS TLD for SLD in Stargaze names?
I think it would be best for me to answer this question since I did the HNS integration. So
Ooh.
I don't think you can do it in Stargaze names, exactly on Stargaze names, but you can fork Stargaze names, fork it to some Juno or some Archway or Neutron, all these permissionless Cosmos chains. And you can specify your TLD there and just connect same way. All source is like on GitHub, so I can probably even post in chat our GitHub pages for not pages. GitHub
All right,
repos for.
We'll go to the next question. You could input the link in the feed. So another person asks, will you implement bid reminders and notifications, considering a bid has the potential of going unanswered for a year?
Really good question. Yeah, so notifications are already a part of the UI for Stargaze. And yes, absolutely, that's a good idea. So actually, the renewal code is not written yet because we know we had a year for it. So when we get around to writing the renewal part of it, adding notifications to it would be something that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, Bobcat asks, when you use Binance and you try to send a coin on a chain that's wrong, it doesn't let you send. Why not just implement the same code?
I didn't actually understand what this question means, because I think we have nothing to do with Binance.
When you use Binance and you try to send a coin on chain, I think he's referring to whether or not you could implement the same kind of UX feature when you're potentially sending to the wrong chain ID with like the wrong address. I think that's referencing your response about Bech32 addresses chain and possible replay attacks with sending to the same address type.
Yeah, I think all the solutions we already talked about, right? I think wallets would have to have. I think wallet UX will have to get a little smart, right? Like wallets would have to know maybe about the multiple name services. They would have to, maybe like give you like ask you, is this the right person you want to right account you want to send funds to. It would have to maybe integrate with some of these kind of social verification services and stuff. Like the UX would really have to like guide and help you make sure you're not sending funds to the wrong account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, enter name, then confirm name by entering address.
Yeah, and that just defeats the whole purpose of it, right? So yeah, while wallet UX can would have to get a lot better. Like maybe if there's a wallet supporting multiple name services, maybe you can have like a drop down or something, so you only type the name and then you don't have to type the whole thing. It could get a little smart and kind of help you guide you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, we should have gone through most of the questions. So my last question would be, what are y'all's thought about the alliance that Unstoppable Domains is trying to implement?
I think they're kind of like a patent troll, right? But I'll let you. I think you guys are a lot more educated on it than I am.
I actually did fill form for Handshake to join Unstoppable Alliance.
Oh yeah, we never talked to them, and they added us to some website.
Ruben said they asked, "Can we like add Stargaze names, please?" And we said, "Okay, fine, buddies."
Oh.
Interesting that they didn't add a Handshake.
Yeah, because Handshake didn't fill form, so I filled it for Handshake. If they refuse, I will make media sync from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting how I think Sandy Carter is now the new CEO of Unstoppable Domains, and she was out there at the World Economic Forum in Davos, that conference, pandering to them to use the new globalist top-level domain system. As if ICANN were not already there.
There is question, is it DCLD, decentralized CLD? It depends how you look at it. I mean, you can fetch data from Stargaze chain directly if you set up on node. But for current implementation of .star's name, we just did develop name server. I sent a link to it into our feed chat. And we use that because for now, even if we look at HIP 5 at DCLDs, then we can understand that it just uses infra and fetches data through it. So it doesn't really make sense if you fetch from infra or if you fetch from name server. But we are actually working on DCLD solution. We try to understand how Cosmos Light clients work and integrate it to handshake resolvers. But it's a very complex task, and I don't promise it today, this week, this month, this year.
Hopefully this year.
How would you even do it? Would you need to convert Cosmos Light clients to speak SPV, like Bitcoin SPV, basically?
I think IBC uses Light clients to work.
Yeah, it's Tendermint Light clients.
So so we can integrate this Tendermint Light client into Handshake Resolver and Fingertip, for example, and it will work for resolving handshake names. I hope. It's too much to research.
Yeah. Good luck. May the force be with you. Okay, sweet. Yeah. Do we have other questions from the audience that should be answered? There's
about Twitter handle feature again, but I think we have only 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
I can.
Let's answer this before we close.
Okay, yeah, the Twitter handle thing is very easy. If you go to after you mint a name, and if you go to your profile in Stargaze, you can type in your Twitter handle, and then there's a button to verify it, and it constructs a message, and you sign it with Kepler, and it posts that message to Twitter, and then and that's really all you have to do. There is an Oracle that kind of monitors Twitter. And then once it detects the message, it sends a transaction to the chain, and then it links the two. Then it links your Twitter, username with your star's name.
All right, let's close out with any announcements that you guys have, or
Shane did promote his Twitter. I will promote it too. Follow Angry Mouse _HNS and be happy listening to my tweets.
Well, what's your GitHub? More importantly, that's where people can tune in to watch the progress on the Light client integration, right? Yeah, when Stargaze Toolbox.
For Stargaze, it's public also.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a request for Stargaze. I've been like toying around with the UI and unsuccessfully getting my name. Hopefully.
Oh no.
I just don't quite know how that bidding system works. So if there's any way to make it more intuitive, so I could.
Okay. Because does someone already have it?
It appears so, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think we actually reserved yours. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the foundation actually minted your name, and we can send it to you.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I will follow up with you about that.
For sure.
Oh yeah, and what about onboarding existing users from Handshake or ICNS or something like that? You know, the way that you reserved my name, you could airdrop those names to the people who exist who own like .x or something. You know.
By the way, for every Handshake people who are interested, please right now go to Stargaze name server. We will continue there because our time ends.
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and thanks Shane and Angry Mouse for answering the questions.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Django.
Django.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.